Hey everyone, back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at one of the next 8 to 10 days in today's video. You're going to be saying very mild, I think, up to the middle part of the month, probably into the second half of the month as well. There was a suggestion a few days ago that it might turn it a bit colder and have a bit of a wintry snap in the second half of the month, but no real sign of that now. It will turn a bit cooler on Friday, not cold, but just going back to average temperatures. But then after that, it generally looks quite mild, I think, and I think it's going to continue to be quite unsettled. So mild and unsettled, really, for the next 8 to 10 days' time, and no sign of anything particularly cold coming up. Well, we already get on with that. Just say about the ASUS links, articles on the page. Go to this, have a browse widgets, and click through the links. If there's any articles that you're interested in, and thanks so much for doing that. This video, as most of the pages, they open out within the content, and when you've watched them, they'll close back up again. So it's all helping to pay for the website. Thanks so much for getting involved. Thanks for doing that. So starting off with centering temperature for the first week of November, we currently stand an exceptionally mild 11.5, which is an anomaly of 3.5 degrees above average. Suffice to say, if this was to continue to the end of the month, we would easily break the all-time November temperature record, warmest November temperature record, which was in 1994. So it really has been an exceptionally mild first week to November. It's going to be staying mild, I think, over the next week to 10 days. Certainly, this will probably tick down a little bit. Just purely for the fact that it can't get much warmer than it is right now. But I think we will keep it very, very mild and keep this temperature anomaly way above average, certainly into the second half of the month. To put it in context, we're actually above the CET that we recorded in October of 11.0. And remember, this is a rapidly cooling time of year. Normally October to November normally sees a big drop in temperatures as we progress through, so very unusual actually what's going on at the moment. Now, just highlight how warm it's going to be tonight. These are the minimum temperatures that the GFS is predicting for 6 o'clock in the morning, and look at this. We've seen temperatures holding up at around 13, 14, 15, even 16 degrees across some parts of the country. This is way above average for maximum temperatures at this time of year, never mind minimum temperatures. But this could be breaking records tonight in terms of the warmth. It's going to be such a mild night. That really is balmy, even in the middle of summer. In a July night, that would be pretty warm and humid, but to have that in November really is very, very unusual. It's going to be staying very mild over the next few days as well, so tomorrow we see temperatures again at 16, 17, 18 degrees. A little bit cooler on Wednesday, down to the low to mid-teens, I suppose, mid to upper teens Celsius, but still mild, still milder than average even into Thursday. But then Friday does turn significantly cooler, just one day on the 13th of November, we see those temperatures going down into single figures for central and northern parts of the country, and just 10s, 11s and 12s for the south and southeast. That is back towards where you'd expect temperatures to be in middle of November. It will feel quite cold, I think, be quite a shock to the system, although it isn't anything particularly unusual to say for mid-November. But it's a one-day only offer, because as we go through to the weekend, those temperatures pick up again. So by Sunday, we're back up to 14, 15, 16 degrees once again. Very, very mild spell coming up. So these are 500 millibar height anomaly flow charts from the PSU website in America. We've got the ECWF on the top. The GFS is on the bottom, and 500 millibars, 80,000 feet, is an area in the atmosphere, high pressure, low pressure, being moved around by the jet stream running above. Red is extrapolating to high pressure and blue to low pressure. So both these charts, and these are the mean flow charts for 8 to 10 days time, take us to around the 19th of November. Both of them show this big ridge sitting across central parts of Europe, and then we've got a deep trough in the Atlantic. They differ on how deep that trough is going to be. The ECWF has to be trough deeper than the GFS, but they're both sort of in line with the pattern, and it means that the jet stream again is going rather like that, dragging up very mild air out of the tropical part of the Atlantic on both of these charts, and the jet streams to the north of the country generally as well. So it continues to be very mild up into the second half of the month. We can see this on the GFS temperature and precipitation ensemble. So we've got the red line here, which is the 30-year temperature average. Obviously, we're way above average right now. So this is where we are at the moment, and you see we're going to be staying there through the next week. The date's on the bottom of the chart, of course. Bit of a downwards trend, so that explains that cooler snap that we get on Friday. Just for one day, we go back towards average, but you see that generally, we're way above average, and we keep it generally above average even as we're going into the second part of the graph, which takes us into the second half of November. This is the 19th of November, just here, for example. This is the result for London, and there's quite a bit of dry weather coming up this week in the south, just because of the proximity of the high pressure across France. After that, though, it looks like it's turning wetter into the second half of the month. So unsettled, but very mild, continues to be the signal. Temperature anomalies over the coming week, the 9th to the 17th of November, significantly above average. We're not alone, so if you don't like mild weather, we're not the only ones suffering. Virtually the whole of Europe is warmer than average, as it is into western, even some central parts of Russia. And even in America, it's generally a little bit warmer than average. These are the temperature anomalies for the states. It's colder than average in the west, but many central and northern parts of America are currently coming out warmer than average for the coming week. The precipitation anomaly looks very dry across central, southern parts of Europe, down to southwest of Europe. We see those dry conditions extending into the south, but it is wetter up in the north, which is telling us that the jet stream is coming through, something like that. So just have a quick look at the generic charts. The GFS shows this for Friday, and this is the cooler day. As the cold front comes down, you follow the isobars back, the air goes into more northern part of the Atlantic. A polar maritime airstream is coming through. That won't last very long. As we go through into Saturday, see the southwest is starting to return. There'll be a warm front pushing in on Saturday, dragging up warmer air from the Azores once again. So by the time we get through to Sunday, we're back into a very mild envelope of air from the tropical Atlantic, and that stays with us into the start of next week as well. And basically, it's the same pattern up to day 10. This takes us up to Thursday, the 19th of November, and we still see that we've got high pressure generally to the southwest across many central and southern parts of Europe, low pressure up to the north. The jet stream is still doing something like that, dragging the air out of the tropical Atlantic. And the east area is going to be very similar as well. There's that cooler day for Friday into Saturday. Then it turns very mild again. By Sunday, the air is coming back in from the Azores, so temperatures are picking up a lot. And that takes us into the start of next week as well, very mild and unsettled. The East area does turn it increasingly unsettled. We saw it on the height anomaly chart that low pressure is deeper on the East area. So by day 10, which is Thursday the 19th of November, turning very wet across the country with deep areas of low pressure, but still really the air is coming up from the southwest, still dragging up from the tropical Atlantic, so it is still likely to be very mild with that one. So there's no sign of a change really. It's been very mild, exceptionally so for the first week of November. We're going to get a little cooler day, a little cooler snap on Friday, but other than that, it's mild all the way, and probably increasingly unsettled next week. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.